Well, good day, Dragons fans. I'm Big T. I'm freezing again. I do it just for you. I don't have a heater because I can't afford electricity. This is the Mad Dragons Vodcast, Team This Tuesday, where Jesse is a friend, a real good friend of mine. It's game day. Game day. Morris and George Illawarra Dragons take on the Gold Coast Titans in a clash that could be crucial for both sides. History is firmly on the Dragons' side. The Dragons lead the overall head-to-head 21-12. They've dominated at home 11-5. And while this match is listed at Jubilee, the Dragons and Titans locked at 2-2. It's worth mentioning that at Wynn Stadium, the Dragons have a 7-0 lead. Titans have never won at Wynn. Wish we were playing at Wynn. Can the Dragons continue their dominance on home turf and give the Red V faithful another reason to celebrate, or can the Titans pull off another upset? I can't say that with a straight face. We break down the team list, key matchups, tactics, predictions, and everything you need to know. So grab your favourite drink, settle in, and let's talk Dragons. Because around here, it's Red V all the way up to the hilt, and we're all in. So here we go. Thank you, Scoop, for joining me. Just me and you again, I hope. I don't hope. I hope someone else joins us. But we have a special guest. Blaze, BKR Sport, mate. How are you? And I believe you're overseas.
Yeah, no, I'm going well, man. Coming off the back of a win against the old Manly. It's always good to. Well, Manly's my dad's team, so I definitely love beating them. But beating them anyway is always great fun. So yeah, coming off a win, very nice with that. But no, I'm in Kazakhstan right now, just living it up and traveling the world. I was in Vietnam, now I'm over here in Kazakhstan. So yeah,
what are you doing there? What are you doing there?
Literally just living it up, man. I'm able to stream the games and commentate and do my thing whilst traveling the world. So I think it's just, just able to go wherever, whenever. And next off, I don't know where I'll go. Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Russia, I don't know.
Well, Astana is the capital, and it's a country landlocked, isn't it? Except for the Caspian Sea, and that's got some beautiful beaches.
Yeah, it's landlocked. The Caspian Sea is on the other side. I'm in Almaty, which is the southern end of Kazakhstan, not Astana, but it's still the same country.
The city is absolutely beautiful. It's all marble and gold, but there's not many people there apparently.
I'm not too sure. Well, like I said, I'm in Almaty. This is a place right next to the mountains. That place there looks like Astana, which is up north from me. But it's beautiful. There's definitely a lot quieter than where I've been throughout Southeast Asia and Asia so far. But no, it's a lovely country, and it's good.
I think last time you joined us, you were in Cambodia.
I would have been in Thailand. Yeah,
Thailand. Yeah. Well, anyway, before we go anywhere else, we have to play this.
All right, Dragons fans, before we rip into this week's game, let's talk about a local business that absolutely knows how to get the job done. If you're running a warehouse, moving locations, upgrading your storage, or staring down the barrel of a lease make good, you need the team at Complete Warehouse Solutions. These guys aren't some big city outfit who don't know the area. They're family owned, based right here in Lake Illawarra, servicing the Illawarra and beyond. And when they say complete, they mean complete. New warehouse fit out, they'll measure it, design it, supply it, and install your pallet racking and shelving properly. Safe, compliant, and built to last. Relocating, they'll dismantle your racking, transport it, and rebuild it at the new site so you're back up and running faster than a Dragon's backline shift. End of lease and the landlord wants it back to bare bones? No dramas. They'll strip it out, repair it, repaint it, clean it, leave it looking like you were never there. And here's the smart bit. They even buy back quality used racking and storage systems. So instead of wasting money, you might actually put some back in your pocket. It's tough work, it's hands-on, it's industrial, and it's done by locals who take pride in doing it right. So if your warehouse needs muscle, experience, and a team that won't muck you around, get onto Complete Warehouse Solutions. Because just like the Dragons, when the pressure's on, you want the right team beside you. Complete Warehouse Solutions, your one-stop shop for getting the job done.
Yeah, there you go, Complete Warehouse Solutions. Give them a call on 4257 1930 or 0417 223 409 for all your warehousing needs. You can send Jeff an email, jeff@completews.com.au. All right, that's out of the way. It's time for this. Soaps and candles, go to them, essenceandlight.com.au. Titans and the Dragons, Jubilee Oval round 21. What an exciting game for the Dragons. There's the Titans team, and we've got Blaze, our special guest. He can run through it.
All right. Well, we've got fullback Keanu Kenny, Special K, with wingers being Dan Yaramia, who's been nice coming onto the wing recently since the injury to Jensen Taupio, plus also Phil Sami, who's off to you guys next year, actually, on the other wing. In the
talk about that.
Centers, we've got Jojo Fafita, the big Jojo, and Jalen de Groot comes in with the HIA for AJ Brimson. So it's a big out there for the Titans and centers, but Jalen de Groot comes in, does his job. 6 is Jaden Campbell, and 7, obviously, Zane Harrison, the rookie, who had an absolutely phenomenal game against the Manly Sea Eagles on the weekend. And then you go to the front row forwards of big Moaki Fotuaika and Tina Fa'asuamaleaui, 2 guys who also had a killer game on the weekend. Number 9, Oliver Pascoe, who's probably been our best player this season. And then you go to the back row of Adamaho and Bowie Firma, with the 13 being Chrissy Randall. And then the interchange is Curtis Moran, Josh Paxton, Khalees Haas, the best Haas in the business. I don't know who the other bloke is. Cooper Bai, Sam Verrills, Lachlan Elias, Michael Molo, and then you got on the extended Sialatili Faimani and Adam Christensen, and coach, obviously, Josh Hannay. Yeah,
nice. Michael Molo there in the side. Think he'll get a run against his old club?
Well, hold on. 14, 15, no. So he's not in the 19 right now. I think there's a potential. Obviously, Lachlan Ellis is going up against his old side, but he's technically in the 19 there. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he'll actually get on. No, look, I think that Moe and Tino have been doing some really good stuff recently, especially Tino in that game on Sunday against Manly. He's had a really poor season, actually, Tino. But we all know there's a few things that have been going on behind closed doors that have impacted his form. Look, he had a fantastic game on the weekend, and Moe's been really good lately. So I just don't know if Michael Molo will be able to get on, especially when we've got Cooper Bai and Khalees Haas on the bench as well.
Yeah, you got Adam Christensen, Jalen de Groot, Curtis Moran, and Siale Fiamani coming back. We said before, AJ is a big loss. What do you lose with him, and what do you get with Jalen de Groot coming into the side?
I think you just obviously lose that experience. So Jalen de Groot, he's a player that's been in and out of the team for a little bit now, especially last year. Just hasn't been able to find a spot in this lineup. I think his last game for us might have been actually over in Auckland against the Warriors, where we only lost by about 6 or 4 points or so. But yeah, look, the experience with AJ is the main thing. He's been with us for 7-8 years now in comparison, and is one of the stalwarts of the team, and is signed here until 2030 on a pretty sizable contract. So I guess he just missed that experience, especially in a backline there that's got a youthful Keanu Kenny, who's getting experience now, but he's still young. Dan Yaramia needs that help, and Jojo Fafita is getting that experience now, but at least Phil has plenty to help Jalen de Groot out with.
Yeah, Moran returns too. He's a big in. He's not a bad player, Curtis Moran.
Oh, he has been. I did say before that Oliver Pascoe's probably been our best player this year, but Curtis Moran has been, for mine, the best sign of the season. He's been absolutely incredible. His energy that he puts into this club. We just want people to give a shit about this club. We just want people to come in and actually give it a crack, and that's what Curtis Moran's done. He's really shown to the Titans fans and the rest of people the NRL community who watch us on, that he's serious business, and he can score a try, he can run it hard, and he can smash out the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned a couple of one of the young blokes anyway, Oliver Pascoe, and Zane Harrison. Where's he from, and what's he all about? He's not a bad little player.
Yeah, no, Zane, he actually played New South Wales under 19s this year, and definitely last year I think he came. I don't know if he actually got on because Mitchell Woods was the 7, but he's been a part of that New South Wales under 19s, and now he's obviously with the Titans. Now he's grown up on the Gold Coast. He's actually been a Titans fan since he was a young boy, and he's just a youthful player that comes through the Palm Beach Currumbin system and Tweed Seagulls, and has won everything that is possibly there to be won as a young lad there, and as one of the schoolboys and all that kind of jazz. And now he's obviously getting his first time crack here in a club that has been without a seven since essentially Scotty Prince back in, those late 2000s, early 2010s days. And now we've got something to build with. And Zane Harrison, very young player, but we've got a spine that we can build with in Keanu Kenny, Jaden Campbell, Zane Harrison, and Oliver Pascoe. Now, Pascoe isn't actually young. This is his rookie year. He's about 26 years old. But gee whiz, he's been fantastic. So Zane and Oliver coming in and working well early doors is a great sign for when they can actually build that connection long term.
They're good players, Oliver Pascoe and Zane Harrison. I've liked Zane Harrison in his last couple of games. He's been good.
The thing is, with just quickly on Zane, the benefit to him is that we've never really had a game-defining seven since Scotty Prince, who has that ability to take that next step level, right? So Zane Harrison is a defining seven, a traditional seven, where we're not putting a six into the seven anymore, who is more of a creative X-factor floater, and that's been a problem for us for a long time. So it's been good to see him decide the kicking, really define the play, and that's what we're getting benefited by the young youth of Zane Harrison.
All right, we'll just go to your coach, Josh Hannay. What has he had the impact you were hoping for this season as a Titans coach?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's been fantastic because at the end of the day, we can't expect to be a world beater after coming second last year and fourth last 3 years in a row. We can't just expect to be in the top 8 or in the finals or win the grand final immediately. So Josh Hannay comes across from the Sharkies, and you've seen players be removed. You've seen guys like Oliver Pascoe debut, the youth of Zane Harrison. You've also got Curtis Morin having a brilliant time, and we've got a couple of signs for next year. So look, it is still quite low, but you are still seeing a lot of the positive and the potential that is coming from this team going forward. Yeah. So we just got to hope that it's not the end of season, fire up where teams like Parramatta last year, where they just won a whole bunch of games at the back end, then go and win the preseason. Everyone's like, oh, maybe the Eels are good, and then they tank it up in 2026. We're just going to hope it's not like that for us. But no, I've really liked Josh Hannay, and he was disappointed after the Manly result, despite the fact we won, which is a good sign that he's actually got the right intentions, that even when you win, you still want more.
Exactly. You will always want more. What does Phillip Sami bring to the Dragons next year?
I think that's a great signing for you guys. Obviously, you've got a bunch of signings in across the entirety of the league. But look, Phil can have a rough one, but he also can be absolutely solid and just tough as nails. Like against Manly, unfortunately, his defense wasn't exactly there, which you probably would have seen. But overall, Phil is a really nice pickup, and I really wish we weren't losing him, to be fair, because he has been a part of us for 7-8 years now as well. But he is a strong player. He's got a good work ethic, and he'll make a bucket load of meters for you.
I hope he does. He scored 4 tries the other week. I hope he does that for us. Looking back at the Titans season so far, what's been the biggest positive, and where have the Titans fallen short in 2026?
I think the biggest positive was probably beating the Dragons, because that means we're not currently in last. Because if we had lost then, we would be in last. All due respect. No, I think the biggest positive for us this season is that whilst we are still in a very similar position to as per usual, whilst we're still down there, we have seen these positives come through these games, like against the Broncos when Keanu Kenny obviously got that miracle try, or there was the Panthers game. We won 19-18 a couple of weeks ago. Despite it being against a youth, like a reserve grade Panthers team, the Warriors still lost to that reserve grade Panthers team. So, we've had some really good ups in regards to those moments, but it's just about, building that depth, getting that consistency. And so far this season, we've seen that we are moving in that direction now. It was tough at the start, and it still is going to be tough, but we just got to have faith in the process that Josh Hannay is. And the biggest negative would be that it's still the same season as per usual, but at least we've got that vision going forward.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Hopefully we've got the same vision with our new coach. So we'll see how that goes on. We'll talk about that later. You've been talking about how much the team has improved over this year, and the results haven't gone your way like us. We've had some bad calls from the referee. You've had some bad calls from the referee. Everybody's had bad calls from the referee in the bunker. What's your take on the bunker? What are your thoughts?
I think that there's never an excuse for the bunker. I think there's always an excuse for the on-field referee because that is a genuinely difficult
100%.
job there. But when it comes to the bunker, so they claim this thing that they have all these different angles than we have. They have all these hundreds of angles at HG and, basically the greatest angles of all time. But we don't actually get to see them. But
No.
I don't understand why we don't get to see them. What's the point of us not being able to see them? When you've got them there, you can clearly show us, but there's a reason why they don't, because that is an excuse to say, we've got this, you don't. This is why we've called it, but you can't see it. So I think, the bunker definitely needs to be reviewed. What I really don't like, though, is that people keep saying we need to get rid of the bunker, which is essentially getting rid of the video referee. Because the bunker is quite literally the video referee. It's just slightly tinkered with. Now, if you get rid of the bunker/video referee, the amount of bad calls you will see will be 20 times worse than what you see now. That's not making an excuse for the bunker. It's just saying that this is bad and needs to be fixed, but it's not as bad as if we didn't have it. So,
exactly right.
I'm not a massive fan of it in regards to the people that are there. But I also think the NRL should be held more accountable for making the rules so perspective-based and confusing, where referees are being thrown under the bus as well in the bunker.
Yeah, talking about the bunker. What about the Bradman best try in Origin? What were your thoughts on that one?
Well, obviously I'm a Queenslander, so
I know. So am I, mate. So am I.
Put yourselves on mute.
Yeah, not a fan of that one.
Because they said they got the vision from the corner post camera.
No, well, they ended up admitting that it was wrong. That was all just like rumors and stuff. But there was one on the weekend with us. Well, we still won against Manly, but there was one on the weekend with us with the offside. Ruben Garrick was dead set meters offside, meters offside. Every single person.
Oh yeah.
In history.
Well, same as Origin, mate. Same as Origin, but you called Plathie offside. Tina had a fair argument, but so did Gutho. Gutho had plenty of fair arguments in the game against the.
I called it live with the forward pass too. I think everyone called that a forward pass for the Warriors.
It wasn't just that; it was two other calls where he stopped play. We could have scored off them. Anyway, let's getting off this game. Your most consistent performer?
It'd probably be Oliver Pascoe, but I guess most consistent. I would say it's actually Curtis Moran. He has been really consistent this year, coming off that 14 roll. Tino, unfortunately, hasn't been. Moeaki Fotuaika has probably been for the last maybe since he's gotten the captaincy, since they had to shift it off to Moe. Well, you guys were trying to get him, I think, last year or the year beforehand, but obviously didn't get that one going. So, look, I would say our most consistent would have to be either Oliver Pascoe or Moran, but I will go with Moran I'll go with Moran slightly.
Yeah, I was going to ask you who was your outstanding youngster, but you just answered that, Oliver Pascoe.
Well, again, he's not actually that young. He's a rookie, but he's 26 years old. He's a late bloomer.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, but he's still young to the NRL. Talking about recruitment, quick one before we go into the Dragons game.
This is my segment, the recruitment stuff.
Okay, I'm going to talk about what positions should the Titans be targeting for next year.
Well, obviously, we usually have wingers coming out of our arse at Gold Coast, really. We've had some brilliant wingers over our years, but unfortunately right now we've gone into a bit of a dark hole in that situation. Our 2 through 5 is all a little bit up in the air. Jojo is a guarantee, and because AJ can't play 5'8" or fullback, then he's a guarantee with the centre. Yeah. So realistically, we're losing Philip Sami. We lost Lothian Camprera last year to the Warriors this year. We just don't have that consistency on the wing. So it would be definitely the wing, because I'm pretty okay with our back row, even though there are problems there and they need to really fix their form. I'm absolutely happy with our front row. The spine obviously stays here until 2030 in a minimum kind of deal.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm pretty happy with our bench. I think Chrissy Randall needs to step up a little bit more in that 13. But overall, it'd be the wings for sure, which is not usually what we'd say at the Gold Coast.
Yeah. You got a couple of players signed till 2030, haven't you? Jaden Campbell and
JC, Keanu Kenny, Tino signed to 2034.
Oh wow!
We've got plenty of these guys that are all signed pretty long term, and they believe in the future.
Nice. Scoop wants to ask you about players off contract. Scoop.
Yep. So we'll run through a list of names, and then you can talk talk about each of them. So let me just go to the top. Starting from the top, Siali. Sorry if I butcher his name.
Faimani.
Siali Faimani. Jermaine Chalifi. It's pretty much been. There is breaking news. He's going to be signing with Huddersfield Giants.
Huddersfield.
Jet Liu, former Dragon Jr. Tuki Simpkins. Sam Ferrells. And then there's one here which has been forgotten about. Yeah, Alan Fitzgibbon.
Okay, so in Jimmy Jolliffe, look, I'm sad to be losing Jamin Jolliffe, obviously, over to the Huddersfield Giants. He's been very good. He's coming off an ACL injury, so obviously that's always a worry. But no, I think that we'll be okay long term. But I do really think that is a big loss for us because he's great in regards to that bench rotation in the front row, and can obviously start too. And he did some great work when Tino was gone. So love a bit of Jimmy Jolliffe, but that's understandable. Sam Verrills, look, it's time for him to move on. We've got Oliver Pascoe, and it just hasn't necessarily worked out here. We wish no ill will to him. Want the best for him. The Bulldogs even maybe knocking on his door. I'm not too sure. And they need someone like him. I think Tuki Simpkins should probably be re-signed, but it looks like Josh Hannay isn't a massive fan of him as we currently speak. He was originally at the Tigers, and now he's with us, but he just doesn't seem like he's massively on the Hannay books. And Faimani hasn't really impressed so far, but he's also been injured a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if he got like a 1 year contract, because that's a winger. And if we got rid of a winger, then we'd be in dire straits on the wing. So I think that Faimani probably sticks on. But outside of that, everything else is pretty understandable.
What about Alan Fitzgibbon? That's the last player that hasn't been signed.
Fitzgibbon is a winger. He's had his opportunity. There are... I don't know, like maybe again, because we're so light on wingers, like I wouldn't be surprised if either Faimani, who is currently on the extended here, or if Fitzgibbon was re-signed there. But I wouldn't hold your breath in regards to a guaranteed contract there. I think it's more about just wait and see by the end of the season before they make a play at those wingers.
All right, thanks, Scoop. All right, let's go into the Dragons Titans game now, Blaze. What worries you most about facing the Dragons at Cogra?
Worries me most. Well, obviously, so I live stream every single game of every single team, so I know full well how the Dragons are going right now. I know that they are going a lot better in recent weeks, even in their losses. I think ever since the last real bad loss you had was against Newcastle when that was down at Wollongong, actually. I think that was the last real bad loss you've had, because the Panthers game, you guys still kicked on for quite a good bit there, but obviously still found a way to lose. Same thing happened with the first Warriors game, where you kicked on quite a bit, but it's just wet weather over there in Auckland. Or was it in Auckland or Cogra? I can't remember.
It was at Cogra, yeah.
Yeah, Cogra.
Might have been Wollongong, actually. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and that's a tough place. But overall, the Dragons have been sticking in games. It's just the biggest issue with them is their final 20 minutes of games, typically, where they will throw it all away then. Like, even though this is all the way back in round 2, the game against the Melbourne Storm, where you're up 20-16 with 20 minutes to go, is a prime example of this before losing 46-20. So I do worry about the fact that Dragons could get ahead of us by a little bit in that first 60, but I also still feel confident that if we're within, a couple of tries, that we could come back in that last 20. And I guess it's not even necessarily too much about travelling away to Cogra. If it was at Wollongong, I think we lose, because Keanu Kinney would get slaughtered under the high ball down there. I know how windy it is. I know how tough Wollongong is to play.
He scored a great tie down there a couple of years ago, I think it was, off the kickoff. I think it was that Keanu Kinney.
It might have been Keanu. I can't really remember. I would have been there for that, but I don't know if that was him or not. But I just know that he's been having a lot of serious troubles with his high ball catching. I know the Dragons will be targeting that absolutely this week, like every single team does. That's probably my biggest concern in terms of Keanu is unbelievable, but the Dragons, surely you'd be seeing guys like Atkinson and Flanagan just putting the ball up as high as humanly possible. Yeah, that's right. You just called our halves, Atkinson and Flano. Who's going to be the biggest threat from the Dragons against the Titans? I think it comes down to your forwards, really, because our forwards are pretty hot and cold. Like, we can have an amazing game from Fodawaker and Fa'asuamaleaui in the weekend, but they can also go extremely cold as well. And the same thing goes for Adam Maho and Bo Firma and also Chrissy Randall, whilst your guys obviously they're very young. So Hamish Stewart, super young. Dylan Egan, super young. Couchman boys, Pacific Tonga, who was on our radar for a little bit. Obviously Damien Cook moving on next year, which Jacob Little, I would assume, coming into that. Connor Watson goes into the hooker. But look, I think that it really, there's not really a player in the back line, with all due respect. Maybe Val Holmes, maybe. He's very 50-50 at the moment, but there's not really a player in the back line that really terrifies me too much. But I would say that the forwards could definitely get something going against us. And obviously, we did a good job against you guys. Well, it was a shocking game, but we had a good job against you up there at Seabus. So, but yeah, your young guys, they obviously can do something in the forwards, and more so like Egan and Hamish Stewart for mine.
We talked about your top players before, but who needs to step up if the Titans are going to come away with a win?
I think it's going to have to be like in a general level, as a general player. I'm talking about guys like Bowie Firma. I think that he really needs to step up and be the more consistent player that we've known from him over the years, where he was knocking on the door of Queensland. He was in the Queensland extended squad. I do think that Beau Fermor needs to really improve. And same thing goes with Chrissy Randall there. But if we're talking about an individual aspect of the game that could be the make or break of winning a game down at this area of the table, it is going to be Keanu Kenny with him catching the high balls. Because if he cannot catch a high ball, then any team, it doesn't matter who we're playing. It could be Burleigh Bears, it could be Newtown Jets, it could be Cumberland, Glebe Reds. Like, it could be any of those guys. They'll find a way to beat us because we'll keep giving up possession on our own 10. So that's the biggest issue in regards to Keanu. But I also know, and we all know, how electric he is as a player, and he can dominate a game himself as well. So I'll be putting the captaincy on him on Supercoach.
It might work. Actually, the next question is, what do you think about our pack? A pack of young blokes who are going to go a long way, I think.
Yeah, well, obviously, Lockup Pacific Tonga was on our radar for a little bit at the beginning of this year, but I think that obviously now that the Dragons have moved in a different direction post Shane Flanagan, it's been decided that he obviously is going to stay, which is a great coup for you guys. And yeah, look, your forwards are super young, super fresh. They've got a lot to prove, and that's a good thing because they want to prove that they're not last position. I don't think you guys have ever won the wooden spoon before, have you, as a merge?
Oh, as a merge, no. I know. I think we've got about 6. I think
Steelers might have won a couple.
Yeah, Dragons won a couple back in the day, so we've got them as well, but none as a merge, no.
Yeah, so I think that they've obviously got a lot to prove in regards to their own individual career, but I also think that they obviously just really would like to try and avoid the first spoon in the history of the merge sides, and that's not being used as an insult, as in like merge. That's just the fact that it is a merge club. So I think the forwards are great, and I think they should go good guns. It just comes down to what Titans 4-pack turns up on the day.
Yeah, I've got a stat on Hamish Stewart coming up a bit later about how many tackles he makes, so that'll be good to see. Scoop, you got any questions for Blaze before we let him go?
No.
Oh, no, come on. You're supposed to be part of the show. You've got to have a question. Ask. Okay, that's it. You're off the show. You're off the show, Scoop. It's just.
No, I can't think of anything, Big T.
It's just me and Blaze from now on.
No. Look at you on your co-host.
Yeah, what are the battles and clashes you're looking forward to in this game?
I guess experience between Gutho and the X Factor and creativity of Keanu Kenny. And Gutho is actually, funnily enough, playing for a spot right now because next year, obviously, Scott Drinkwater comes across, and you would assume that Scott Drinkwater will go straight into that fullback, which will give you a bit more X Factor and creativity. It doesn't help you on defensively, but it does help you attacking wise. So Gutho will have to be shifted, and it comes down to, will they put him anywhere else? I don't know. I don't think they'll put him back into 5'8" like they have done before. I don't really think.
There's talk of him moving to centre and Val Holmes moving to the wing. So we'll see what happens.
Is Val Holmes a winger anymore, though? Like, I know Val Holmes has been a great winger in his time, but is he a winger anymore?
Against the Tigers, when he moved to the wing when Sloane went off, he turned into Superman. Scored 2 tries, kicked every goal he went for. The confidence came back. So I'm thinking that Valentine Holmes moving to the wing might be a good thing.
Or maybe, we'll see. So, yeah, look, I think that that fullback battle will be interesting for completely opposite reasons. But then it just comes down to, the inexperience of our halves versus the I don't even think you can't call inexperienced with Carl Flanagan. He's been around for a long time now.
That's right, he has, yeah.
Buddy Roos, the Dragons, and Atkinson is. I wouldn't say he's inexperienced. Like, he's still had a couple of years of the Sharkies, and now he's here at the Dragons, and he's got a big game by winning against the Storm down there in Melbourne with the Sharks. So it's like, I guess it's the inexperience of our halves up against the relative experience of the Dragons halves, and just who can get something going more. Because, like, when you look at the attack for both these teams this year, the Titans, we've had a lot of problems with our attack, like a significant amount of problems as we're trying to work through the teething of our young spine. And we've scored around 35 points. But the Dragons, you know, with these guys, they thought Daniel Atkinson was going to be the guy to really take them to the next level. Well, they're at 256 points and the worst attacking team in the competition. So whilst we've had our problems, if for some reason we're still finding a way to be up by about 80-odd points than the Dragons so far this year. It's like we're at least we're above the Eels and also the Broncos on the old attack, and also the Bulldogs. We were actually second worst for attack. Now we're fifth worst for attack. So at least we're moving in the positive direction there. But your halves obviously need to turn up here because we've been having a lot better games recently.
Yeah. Oh, Jess wants me to ask you, how did you feel to beat the old player Kieran Foran, who's now a coach, Blaze? I don't know why, but there's a question for you.
So I know Fozza. I know him personally. He's a great bloke from my time at the Titans. You know, obviously, I would like to see him be extremely successful as a coach, and I want to see him be extremely successful, you know, as a man. But at the end of the day, I want my team to win. So he just has to take a side seat as the Titans go and slap Manly, and same with my dad, who is also a Manly fan. So as much as I love Fozza, I love my club.
And you love your dad. Everybody should love their dad.
When it comes to Manly, give Manly out of the way. I love my dad, but screw Manly.
Nobody likes Manly. You know that.
Manly. No one.
All right, I got just a couple more. If you were sitting in the coach's chair for one game, what's the first thing you'd change?
Are you talking about for the Titans or for the Dragons?
The Titans. Oh, we can do both. For the Titans, what would you change?
For the Titans, I'd probably give Cooper Bye a few more minutes, that's for sure. But I would also just say, and this might sound like a little bit of a cop-out, but I do genuinely just trust what Josh Hannay is doing for the most part. So I don't even really want to go against Josh Hannay's decision-making here. I think maybe Tony Francis has been killing it for the youth level. He's been killing in the Q Cup. I probably would have given Tony Francis a crack, but it's obviously that he's on the outer here at the Titans. Yeah. I might have thought about giving him a go. It just is what it is. He's not getting that opportunity. So maybe that would be, if I had to be pushed for an answer, it would be Tony Francis to probably come in there. But, you know, Jalen can hold his own. But I also want to see Cooper get more minutes. And then for the Dragons, like I just don't really think there is too much that you can really do right now. I think you got to look for the off-season and wait for Scott Drinkwater to come in and Luke Metcalf and Phil Sami and Keon Kolotungi, and then you can obviously decide from next year.
That's right. Yeah, we're going to be a totally different side next year. I've worked it out what's going to happen, Blake. I worked out what's going to happen. The gods are going to work this out for me. We're going to win the wooden spoon this year, and then we're going to be premiers next year. So there you go, from basement to penthouse in 1 year. Look at Newcastle.
Yeah, I'll agree with 50% of that. I'll agree with 50% of what you've just said there.
We're going to win the spoon. That's what we're going to agree with.
That would be the one that I'll agree with, the 50% there. You bring up a good point in regards to Newcastle, but I will also counter this point by saying that the Knights clearly had a pretty good team there waiting with the likes of Callum Ponga, with the likes of a few of these other guys, Dylan Lucas and Bradman Bess and Greg Martin, that they had a good team there, but they just had a guy in Adam O'Brien that didn't really know what he was doing. So like he was kind of lucking out in regards to the team, which I guess you could argue he built, but he was lucking out in regards to them still getting to top 8. Whilst the Dragons still respectfully haven't been in the top 8 since 2019, I think it was. And there is still 2018, yeah. So they haven't been there for a while, whilst the Knights have already kind of had that team there, but it's just they had a bit of a muppet when it came to the old coaching. But look, it's not a guarantee that you get the wooden spoon this year. However, if you lose this game, it is a guarantee. If you lose this game. If you win this game, the issue, and I've been saying this a lot on my streams, is that whilst you'd only be 2 wins behind, so we're on 5 and you're on 2, you'd go to 3. The issue is your points differential is minus 247.
Exactly
and
right.
the Titans are minus 106. So that's about a 140 odd swing on points differential. Yeah. Unless you won this game by like 40 to switch it by an 80 swing. The fact is that it's essentially a 3-game gap still. So right this very second, it's actually currently a 4-game gap, even though it's only 3. But if you don't win by enough, it's still going to be a 3-game gap. So can you see, and realistically, can you see the Dragons getting, even if they get this win here this week, 3 more wins than the Titans do for the rest of the season? And that's the biggest question that you have to ask.
I think we get 3 wins for the rest of the season, and one of them's the Titans. So there you go. I could be right, I could be wrong. So
that would then come down to the fact the Titans have to lose every game from here on out. Right. And obviously, then also the points differential would have to swing enough because if you think 3, you've still got 6 games after this one, which would mean that. Yeah, I think that points differential would be super close if it went down that path.
I think you guys don't play anybody out of the top 9 for the rest of the season, isn't it?
I'll quickly have a look. We got a lot of home games. Like we play 6 out of our last 8 games at home, including the last one that we just had.
I think you're playing 6 to the top 9.
So we play the Warriors at home next week, and then the Cowboys at home the week after. The Knights away the week after that, and then the Sharks at home, Rabbitohs at home, and the Dolphins at home. The Dolphins obviously might be fighting for a spot. Rabbitohs might be fighting for a spot. Yeah. Sharks are pretty good.
So it's not an easy run.
It's not an easy run, but also, we were able to go and beat the Panthers 19-18 the other week.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to.
You beat Manly. Manly are up there too, or were up there. So
beat Manly. Should have beaten them down there at Brookie too, to be completely honest with you. But we just missed a conversion. We went close with the more experienced Storm down there in Melbourne. We only lost controversially talking about bunker buddy bullshit. Tell you what.
Yeah, I know.
Tell you what was that game.
I know. They've come out three times this year and apologised to the Dragons that they got it wrong.
We get an apology every damn week at this point.
I know. It's crazy.
It's Apology Monday.
I think they need to go to AI. AI should be running the bunker.
Anything we've got right now.
Do a better job.
Well, we're not going to put you in a bunker, Scoop, because then you'll just give Dragons a try every 2 seconds. We can't be allowing that. But you know what? You can go in the bunker next week, not this week. Not against the Titans. You can go in the bunker next week. How about that?
Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, I'd like to have a sit in at the bunker and have a look what goes on and see how hard it is, because it would be. The bunker's a bit different to being on the field, but it'd still be a hard job.
The thing is though, I don't actually think it is that difficult of a job. We all have eyes. You have eyes.
Oh, exactly right. I do the same thing at home.
Eyes. It makes no sense. Like, we are literally a bunker without the ability to impact the call. They're just the same thing, but being able to impact the call, and they get it wrong. So I just think it's ridiculous. And whilst we need it, we just need to fix it.
I think it should be just 3 punters, one from the Titans, one from Dragons, and a partial unbiased third, and you've got a red and a green light. If you reckon it's a try, you hit green. If you don't reckon it's a try, hit red. There you go. And if you get 2 out of 3, it's a try, or 2 red ones, it's no try.
Let's just get all 3 Titans fans. I think that's the most fair way to do it. That's the most fair way to do it. We'll get myself. We'll get Sly, and we'll also get Clarkie. How about that? All 3 Titans fans in, and
with me,
we'll make a decision.
Well, you 3, and then we can have me, Jess, and Scoop.
No, unfortunately, sorry. There's only 3 people allowed in the room, so it'll just be fans. And don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger.
Thank you very much. Okay, finally, your prediction for the game, the score, first try scorer, and give us a man of the match.
Look, I think this is as 50-50 as it comes. It comes down to what Dragons team turns up and what Titans team turns up. I'm not super confident. Obviously, we did win against the Dragons earlier this year in one of the worst games of the year. At least the Tigers Knights beat us out for worst game of the year. But look, I'm going to back in when it's a 50-50 game, I have to back in my team. If I genuinely thought we would lose, confidently, I would say that. I'll probably go with like a 26-18, 26-20 kind of scoreline. I think there should be some points in this, but then again, maybe not, because both teams defensively have been a lot better recently. Maybe it is more of like an 18-14 kind of game or a 20-16 kind of game. I'm not sure. But what I can guarantee you is that every fan across the game will probably say this is the worst game of the season. I promise you. By the end of this game, I know it won't be, but I promise you that everyone who's not a Dragons or a Titans fan will automatically think second last versus last. So guaranteed that means regardless of the score, regardless of how it plays out, that was just so boring, so bland, and just awful. So I think we're going to actually have an exciting game. I think it'll be good because there's two teams here that are hopefully on the up. And yeah, I'll go. Look, I think then I'll go 2016. 2016.
2016.
Hold on a second. Listen to his dribble. Our team's been duped by the bunker more than any other club. See, this is the problem with people like this. Christopher, with all due respect, man, everybody cops it. Like literally everybody. So
everybody.
I watch every single game we stream with all different fans of all different clubs every single week. With all due respect, the Dragons do cop it, but I promise you we cop it. I promise you the Tigers cop it. I promise you all those bottom teams cop it. And even top teams do cop it as well, because the bunker and the officiating is just an absolute shambles at the moment. So, look, whilst I respect that you're obviously frustrated by it, the fact of the matter is that you cop it just as much as we do, and we cop it just as much as you do, because there has been multiple games in a couple of weeks. Like, they've already apologised for the Manly game that we won. They apologised for the Manly game that we won. And the week beforehand, we also had an apology about the Storm game. We've had 5 apologies this year alone. So,
I know.
It's no disrespect to Christopher. It's just that, trust me, when you look at it from an outsider's perspective, you will know that everybody cops.
That's right. Exactly right. Because you watch your team and you know your team cops it, but you understand that. I don't think the Tigers have had a game this year without a sin bin.
Is that right? The Tigers have never had a sin bin?
No, without a sin bin.
Okay.
Happy Coruscant's been going off, and then Twal slapped Silly Salmon. That was a funny move.
Well, Warriors, you know what's funny about this? The Warriors used to always cop it. And then their CEO came out and had a whinge on socials. Have you noticed that since then the calls have been completely the opposite in regards to the Warriors, and look at them up the top of the table? And that's not really, that did happen publicly.
It happened to the Cowboys a couple of years ago. That
about 10 years ago, yeah.
Todd Payton had a big whinge. It wasn't 10 years ago. It was only a few years ago. Todd Payton had a whinge, and then they ran 5th or 6th in the competition that next year.
That is true. I was thinking about when they got robbed in the finals a couple of times in a row against the Sharks with the set, and then also the Warriors game as well. That was like 10, 11 years ago. But Titans win 20-16, and we're going first try. Keanu
Kenny, like he scored the first try a couple of years ago. All right, Blaze, thanks very much. All the way from Kazakhstan, traveling the world. BKR Sport, tell us a bit about that, mate.
Yeah, well, like I've said a couple of times here, I stream every game and my reaction to every single game. We haven't missed a single minute of rugby league this year on the YouTube channel BKR Sport. So, yeah, just doing our thing. I know Annie, who's around here, but he gets around it, and I'm sure that I'm going to have to get the grief from Annie this weekend with the Titans-Dragons game on Sunday. So, no, it's good fun. We obviously talked with the live community, and we have some good laughs at our own expense for the most part.
That's another one from Jess. Would you come on for the Dragons-Titans NRL in a few weeks? It'll be on a Wednesday. Because we now do.
The issue with this is that because I do every NRL game, I'm not able to watch the NRLW because they're on at the same time as the NRL. So it would kind of be pointless, and especially when the Titans are going to win the comp in the NRLW, Jesse, it's going to be a bit of an issue when we win by 70 points the first half. All right, so I'm not able to actually respectfully watch the NRLW, and that doesn't mean that I don't like it. It's just I'm too busy in regards to what we do. But there you go. So Titans win and slap it up.
Yeah, there's a good one. Maybe the bunker should get fined for wrong calls. Maybe that'll stop them getting wrong calls. Mr. Worldwide, there you go. From he's out in Kazakhstan. He's on his way to Russia. He's doing a lot.
I'm pretty certain if that's the same GTGT I'm thinking of, that's a Dolphins fan there. So he He's getting around the Dragons versus Titans on the opposite side of the table. Good on you, GTTT. Watching a podcast about two teams, and I know we're close here, but appreciate you guys as per usual. And, hopefully we see you in the finals. Maybe not this year, but hopefully next year when you guys get all your players and we build through our spine.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Thanks for joining us. You're always fantastic. And hopefully we'll see you again next year.
Yep, too easy. All right, catch up. Thanks for
having me. No worries, mate. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Well, there you go, Scoop. Blaze all the way from Kazakhstan. What a great bloke. Like you said, he's traveling the world. He was in Thailand last time we spoke to him. But Lisa Marie says thanks. And hello to Lisa Marie and everybody. Macca, Clyde, Jag. And if you comment, comments are down there, isn't it? If you comment, you're going to the draw for $75 on the Mad Dragon Vodcast Chucky Wheel. And no, Jag, you cannot be in it. That's right. All right, I'm going to play this first, Scoop, and I'll remove this one. Oh, geez, they're both as big now. I'll put this one on. Let's see what he says.
I want our fans, when they're buying the tickets and they're walking through the gates, to know that the Dragons are going to compete hard every week and they're going to be consistent. They're going to know what they're going to get from the team. I think in the last 4 or 5 weeks, I think our fans can honestly see what we're trying to be, and we've still got a lot of work to do, but I think we've been a lot more consistent in the last 5 or 6 weeks than we were earlier. Look, with finals, 8 teams to make it, 9 are going to miss out, so you've got to do a lot of things right, but if I don't believe that we can make the finals next year, how am I players going to believe that? So, like I said, there's a lot of work to be done. There's a pre-season plan, but at the moment, it's this week against the Titans and make sure that we continue the consistency that we've shown in the last 5 or 6 weeks. It's been hard for everyone. Like, the Dragons have been going through a tough period for a long time. Like, we haven't played finals in so many years. So the fans, the staff, the players have been through a real tough period. But tough periods can make you stronger. I'm sure that these periods that we've been through right now will come out the other side. And, I really believe that this club's on the way up.
Well, there you go.
I want our fans, when they're buying the tickets and they're walking through the gates, to know.
Okay. Shush. We've done that now. Well, there you go. Dean Young talking about what he wants to bring to the club as a head coach. Scoop. So expectations next year has to be top 8. What are your expectations? Now we have Dino as our coach.
Top 8, top 4, hopefully.
Top 4. That's a big call. Top 4. I think we've got a top 4 pack, and I think Dino can get the best out of the team. That's right. Exactly right. That's a mouthful of any name. All right, Scoop, you run through the Dragons team for us.
So at fullback, playing his 250th game, congratulations to Clint Gufferson. On the wings, you got Tyrell Sloan and City 2. In the centres, you got Val Holmes and Matt Feeney. In the halves, you got Kyle Flanagan and Daniel Axon. In the front row, you got Loco Pacifica Tonga and Toby Couchman. And the hooker and captain of the squad, Damien Cook. In the back row, you got Dylan, the Eagle Egan. In 12, you got Hamish Stewart. And in the number 13, locking the scrum, Ryan Couchman. On the interchange bench, don't forget, guys, it's a 6-man bench. Jacob Little, Luciano Leilua, Josh Kerr, Jacob Halengahu, Moses Zuli, and Larkin Kintogia. And for the extended bench, you got Emre Gula, Christian Tuipulotu, and Jacob Webster. And for the first time, I can say, and the official coach for the Dragons, starting this week, Dean Young.
Yeah, congratulations, Dino. Good on him. Yeah, I hope he brings these new players to the club, and we have a new era in the Red V. and my expectations are high now. We got the new coach permanently, so well, yeah. What do you do? All right, Clint Gutherson playing his 250th. Your thoughts on that?
I hope he steps up for his 250th. I hope there will be some changes made with Farnholmes to wing, Sloan to fullback, and Clint Guffos in the centre. Maybe drop Matt Feeney. And bring in Jacob Halligahu into the other centre spot. That's the only changes I would make if I was the coach.
Halangahu into the centre spot. Yeah, maybe. What other questions do we have talking about this team? Guffo's 250th. Look, we won't harp too much. We know the Dragons are improving week to week. We should have won for the last couple of weeks. We had a couple of games where we scored more tries but kicked less goals. So, yeah. The spine's been stable for most of the season, most of the second half of the season, with Kyle Flanagan coming into the side when Cade Reid done his finger in the early rounds. So we've had a pretty solid spine. Gutho, Atkinson, Flano, Cookie. I also add Ryan Couchman to the spine, being at lock, because he's in the middle. He's doing all the hard work. I think 40-odd tackles every week, Scoop. What do you think of the Couchman boys?
I think they've been totally unreal this year. The way that since the sacking of Coach Flano, I think we just need that change in the forward pack. Just a bit of youth for a spark. Because if we still had Flano, most of those boys would have been like, nope, we don't want to resign. We want to move on if we don't get a chance.
Yeah.
But ever since we had the change of coach,
I thought the Couchies still played for Flano. That maybe that professional of those boys. Give their all week in, week out. And it's good to see they're all South Coast, all St George kids. So it's good to see that. Now, what else can I ask? What other questions? We might do this. I've got a few comments backed up here. We'll say good day to a few people. Mac is saying you're looking comfy there, Scoop. Congratulations on Youngie securing his position. Yeah, we do like the appointment, Jag. If you're on here, you could put your opinion in too, but you're not here, so we might want to talk about your opinion. I'm wondering if you got my email. I'll have to have a look. Did you send it to the Mad Dragon podcast? Yeah, we went through Guffo's 250. Johnny Burke, how are you, mate? Top 8 next year, we all hope. Their first game was we've been through that, Scoop. Jag. He's been a scoop at the moment. Yeah, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. It's coming up soon. First game's advanced since signing, that's correct. He knows everything, this boy. And then any Guthos, the Bulls will be up for it. I hope they are. His defense has improved. I think he missed maybe one tackle. Send the Couchies for the next 10 years. Got something about that as well. I've got something about that as well. In the workshop. Somebody else is coming. I love this Mad Dragon podcast. The Couchman Boys show, Scoop. Only scooping Big Tino. Okay.
yeah, we do.
We do? Okay. Anyway.
We are fair.
Sammy, Are you playing that game again, Scoop? You better
Well,
not
no.
be. Can only be up from where we are, from Lee Carey. That's right. We can only go up. So, hey, Big T. Hey, Johnny. Able to score some players. Loco wants to extend.
Oh, good.
Okay, I'll have a look. I'll have a look, Macca. I'll have a look at that. Battles and clashes, Scoop. What are you looking at? Where are you looking at? I'm always looking at the back row. Egan and Stewart up against Imaho and Bo Firma. That's what I call him anyway, Imaho. It's Aramaho. And
I say this every week, Big T. Forward pack.
forward pack. You want to see big?
Best forward pack.
You want to see big hits left, right, and centre.
I want to see players get knocked out left, right, and centre cold.
Ooh, that's a big one. A big call. Yeah, back rowers. I love our back rowers. Hamish Stewart last week, absolutely fantastic. Played one of his best games for the. He one of our best players every week. Him and Toby Couchman. Yeah. Okay. Lee Carey loves the Dragons. Where are we? Where are we up to? I think it's time. I did this. Yeah, Big T's. This week in rugby league, I was up the court, twirl. July 23 to July 29. It's actually next week, but I didn't do one for this week. I was a bad boy. I'll do one for next week, and I'll do another one for next week. Okay, 24th of July 93, Ricky Wolford scored his 100th first grade try. St George winger Ricky Wolford brought his 100th first grade try. It was a great player for the Dragons. Came from the Roosters in North Sydney. 2024, wrestling becomes the biggest talking point in rugby league. St George coach Nathan Brown publicly attacks Melbourne's wrestling technique, demanding the NRL crackdown on grapples and wrestling tackles. The rule for tackle and scoop, Melbourne changed that.
Yeah.
Melbourne did change that. The way we tackled.
Dirty grubs.
Dirty grubs. And the interpretation, nobody can get it. Now you got chicken wings and cannonballs and prowler tackles, and they're all there. And Eric Sims forces a rule change in 1969 this week. He kicked 5 field goals in one match. In 1969, the field goals were worth 2 points. So there's 10 points just from field goals. So they changed that to 1 point in 1971. So there you go. There you go. That's this week in rugby league. Big T's big week in rugby league. I love this segment. Tell me if you like it or not, and I'll keep doing it. Yeah, so that's this week in rugby league. There you go. Okay, we've done that one. What are we up to?
We're just flying through stuff tonight, Big T.
We have just flown. We had Blaze on for 45 minutes. That was pretty good. Glad he could join us. I love Blaze. Again, congratulations to Dean Young on becoming a Dragons head coach. So yeah, but we've done 12. We really have to do this too before we leave. I caught him off guard. Scoop, good, bad, and ugly this week.
All right, for my good, bad, and the ugly for this week, folks. For the good, how good was Reece Walsh getting back to his dominance over the weekend for the Broncos upset against the Penrith Panthers? He controlled attack, defense, and the winning sideline conversion, the bad. Manly's injury rise gets worsens again with their captain
Yes.
Tom Trbojevic
Oh,
injuring his other hammy. Is it time for him to hang up the boots, or is it time for him to get put into a new position? We're gonna have to wait and see for next year. And the
Are you-
ugly.
are you laying down, Scoop?
It's just my pillows, Big T. They won't fill it up.
I have to buy you a desk. What's your ugly, buddy?
Ugh, the bloody bunker course. They robbed the Dragons again this week.
Yes.
I swear the NRL hates the Dragons and love to ruin our matches by just rubbing the grass off us.
Exactly.
Can the bunker improve, or will there be explosions of the bunker in the next few years if this outrageous conspiracy keeps going
Yeah.
and corruption
Well,
in the NRL?
I was watching Chris Sassine this week, and he's saying with this $55 billion, bring in forward pass technology. And I tend to agree with him. So they've got to do something. We'll get back to a couple of our viewers there. Johnny Burke says their halves are better than ours. I think they are 50-50 with the halves. I say we'll beat the Titans. We won't be the Titans. We'll beat the Titans, I guess. Scotty Giro died yesterday. A great player in the NRL, ARL. Scotty Giro. Just a few days short of turning 40. That's right, yeah. So it's not very good. Lisa Marie says she likes 12. Brings back good memories in the old days. Johnny Burke agrees. I hope he's agreeing with Lisa Marie. All right, next one along. Lower grades. Oh, well, they're not actually lower grades. These are the women's team. Tegan Berry, Maria Paseka, Shanae Sazolka, Tyra Ekapati, Jamie Millard on the win. She's in doubt. She had a pec injury. Maybe Talia Fuimahono and Casey Ray in the halves. Maddie Mulhall, Brooke Anderson, and Ruby G. Kennard Ellis. That's a mouthful. In the front row, Montana Clifford, Ella Costa, and Hannah Southwell locks the scrum. Tori Shipton, Trinity Tournier, Amelia Hakayu, Talia O'Brien, and they're just too small for me to read. Zali Hopkins is back, but she's been round 4. Maybe she'll be back. Well, this is round 4, so we'll see how she goes. New South Wales Cup team. They've got a good side. They've actually slipped down the ladder. They were up the top early in the season, and they slipped down. Scoop, do you want to run through that side for us?
Alrighty, Big T. At fullback, you got Tyler Peckham Harris. On the wings, you got Nathan Lawson and Christian Tuipulotu. So far, only one centre has been named, which is our good mate, Billy the Kid's cousin, Nick Saragas.
Sagranas.
Oh, well, who cares?
It's all Greek to you. It's all Greek to you.
In the halves, in number 6, the current junior for us, Nick Quinn. In 7, and captain for us, Joseph O'Neill. I think he's a former Bulldogs junior. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the front row, Jacob Webster, Emery Gula, and Blaine Hooker. Hayley Finau.
Yep.
In the back row, you got Dylan Coots, Sarah Stanley Trial, and locking the scrum, Ryan Hutchinson. On the bench, you got Dexter Grant, Filiami Hikila, Matthew Ya'alasim,
Yep.
and Tony Ben Jackson. In the extended bench, number 22, Wes Pring. And the coach, it's Aaron Gorrell.
Aaron Gorrell. Yep. And that's played at the iconic North Sydney Oval against the North Sydney Bears. They're playing them 3 p.m. Sunday. Again at North Sydney Oval. What a beautiful oval, North Sydney Oval. You been there, Scoop? You been to North Sydney Oval?
No, I have not.
Bloody beautiful place. Massive fig trees everywhere. It's a great place to go and watch footy. If you can get to one of the trees, it's even better. All right, we got the Jersey flag team. We've got Lucas Ball, Kai Andrews, and Toby Rumble on the wings. TBC to be confirmed, and Oliver Burton in the centres. Eden Hodges, Marley McFarren, Daniel Mayafu, Isaiah Fagalillo, Viliami Amone, Jared Tweek, Drew Langdon, and Blake Plathers is locks the scrum. Jackson Cahill-Smith, Lachlan Weir, Bailey Carmichael, Mason Andrews, and Shady Hamoud is on the extended bench. These guys are on him first. So they're playing the Silk Tails, the Fiji side, on Sunday at Cogra Oval, 11:45. So that'll be pre-Dragons game. So they're playing before that. Okay, what have we got? There we go. Hamish Stewart is being compared to Mike Cooper and Bo Scott. Hamish Stewart has made 1,269 tackles in his first 36 games for the Dragons, compared to Mike Cooper, 1107, and Bo Scott, 1042. What a great feat. We know how good both those players were for the Dragons. But Bo Scott, he was a defending machine. So, Hamish Stewart, congratulations, buddy. Okay, I just want a quick talk about the Dragons off-contract players at the end of 2027, which means they can talk to clubs from November 1st of this year. Hayden Buchanan, the Couchman boys, David Farley, Kyle Flanagan, Clint Gufferson, Jacob
Halangahu.
I think it's Halangahu. Just Josh Kerr, Lycan King Togia, Loco, Charlie Cyrus Stanley Trail, Sully, and Nick Sagranis. There's a few names on there we'd love to keep before November 1, Scoop, because if they hit the open market, I don't think we're a chance of keeping them.
Well, like what Jag said back in a few comments, Loco Pacific Katonga said he wants to re-sign with the Dragons. Couchmans, I think, will definitely be re-signed. Buchanan, I think he will be re-signed. Flano and Guffo and Kerr and Sully have all been told to move on. Nick Saragas, we don't know about him. We'll have to wait and see if Billy the Kid can convince his
Talk him into it.
The Dragons.
Yeah.
Cyrus Stanley Trio, I don't know. And like in Kentogia, I think he might be moved on. I'm not too sure. But the rest of the names will definitely stay. David Farley, I don't know if he's going to be re-signed. But we can all know if that's been confirmed that Flano, Guffo, Kerr, and Sully have all been told to move on.
Yeah, and as Jag's saying on their New South Wales Women's Premiership, the Dragons play the mighty West Magpies at Ringrose Park, Great Western Highway, Wentworthville. I've played there. It's a hard ground. It's like a concrete bowl. But anyway, we used to be in my day because I was tough. And Illawarra, they're playing against the Bulldogs on Saturday at Terry Lamb Complex. I played there as well, Terry Lamb Complex. It's at Bass Hill. Bass Hill had used, I don't know if they still got it. The outdoor movie theatre used to be at Bass Hill. Okay, what do we got here? I'll come back to this one. Injuries. Blocker leg should be back this round. Cade Reeves now round 22. Sewer calf still round 27. Sele done an Achilles. Third one over the weekend. Unusual.
I don't think Sele will be back.
Hudson Young and Will Warbrick both done their Achilles as well. So, And Hayden Buchanan's been ruled out for the season. Yes, that's a big loss for the Dragons. NRLW, Hopkins, she should be back this round. Keely Brown, done a hammy to be confirmed. Look, hammy's 12 months or most of the year. And it says Jamie Millard had a pec injury. She's been named, but yes, so Dragons off way. There you go. That's the next one I want to show. I'll go back to here, get rid of that comment. Next one. There's been rumours. Scoop, have you heard any rumours on this?
It's only a new rumor I heard today. Wade Egan's looking at coming back to Australia because it looks like he's falling our favourite New Zealand because they got some really good young kids coming through. So Wade Egan's looking for a club. We don't know where he's going to be looking at, but we are one of the clubs named.
Well, what's that going to do for Jacob Little? Would Egan come in as the number one hooker and Little move back to the bench? I don't think he'd be too happy.
Nah. Well, Perth Bears and PNG are still looking for their hooker.
Yeah.
So those two could be the other clubs
Could
named,
be.
but the rest of the clubs in the competition, I think, are pretty much settled on their hookers.
He'd be a great addition to the Dragons. He's such a smart hooker, Wade Egan. Yeah,
But
Wade
he's
Egan.
injury prone.
True. I'm not sure how old he is either. So,
I'll have a look.
all right. I got a question for you, Scoop.
Yes, far away.
Does PNG have an advantage over the Bears with their tax?
Yes.
Joey Manu touring the facility, the PNG facility, the other day. So Joey Manu might be looking at going there. But I also learned that these third-party agreements are only tax-free in Papua New Guinea. If they bring that money to Australia, it gets taxed. So if they come to Australia to buy something, a house, whatever, a business, they'll be taxed on that. You said earlier, Turbo done his hamstring. Is that it for Turbo's season over? Is his career over? I don't know, maybe not career, but his season's definitely gone.
So, Big T, Wade Egan is 29 years old.
Okay.
He was a Penrith Panthers junior. And he was born Lithgow, so technically Penrith junior, so yes.
So 29 for a hooker is a perfect age because you're starting, your head's starting to become more devious. And he's a very smart, crafty hooker, Dylan Egan. Yeah. Okay, Scoop, you got anything else to add about the game? About anybody else? What have I got else? What else have I got here? Oh, Dragons 50-50 charities going with July. So I think we done it in the first round when we played the Tigers. So 50-50, 50% goes to the winner, 50% goes to the charity. And I think most people, and what they should do is donate it to the charity because it only costs you $2 or whatever it costs. So we'll come to that. We'll come to that in a sec. Steve Hoppett is late to the party, but mate, I hope you're well. We are all well, and we've had a very, very good show. We're just about to wrap it up. I'll play this one more time.
All right, Dragons fans, before we rip into this week's game, let's talk about a local business that absolutely knows how to get the job done. If you're running a warehouse, moving locations, upgrading your storage, or staring down the barrel of a lease make good, you need the team at Complete Warehouse Solutions. These guys aren't some big city outfit who don't know the area. They're family owned, based right here in Lake Illawarra, servicing the Illawarra and beyond. And when they say complete, they mean complete. New warehouse fit out? They'll measure it, design it, supply it, and install your pallet racking and shelving properly. Safe, compliant, and built to last. Relocating? They'll dismantle your racking, transport it, and rebuild it at the new site so you're back up and running faster than a Dragon's backline shift. End of lease and the landlord wants it back to bare bones? No dramas. They'll strip it out, repair it, repaint it, clean it, leave it looking like you were never there. And here's the smart bit. They even buy back quality used racking and storage systems. So instead of wasting money, you might actually put some back in your pocket. It's tough work, it's hands-on, it's industrial, and it's done by locals who take pride in doing it right. So if your warehouse needs muscle, experience, and a team that won't muck you around, get onto Complete Warehouse Solutions. Because just like the Dragons, when the pressure's on, you want the right team beside you. Complete Warehouse Solutions, your one-stop shop for getting the job done.
All right, there you go. Complete Warehouse Solutions. 4257-1930 8417 223-409. Give Jeff an email at jeff@completews.com.au for all your warehouse needs. We've gone through news and rumors. If you had any more to send me, so you didn't have it. We'll get to the any purchase transfers to those contracted in Australia, I will incur tax. So yeah, it's not completely tax free. If you buy something in Papua New Guinea, it's tax free. Okay, there's the ladder. It's a pretty shitty ladder. We'll have a look. We'll have a look at this. Parramatta and the Panthers on Friday night and Thursday night at Combank Stadium. Scoop, who you got?
So a few key ins and outs for both teams. Parramatta, they got two big ins. They got Mitchell Moses back from Origin duties, and Riley Smith comes back in. The only outs they've got is Charlie Geimer. Penrith Panthers, pretty much just reserve grade players.
Yeah. You think Penrith will be too strong?
Plenty.
Panthers by plenty?
Yep.
Yeah, I got Panthers as well. Knights and Roosters at McDonald Jones. I'm going Roosters here. Knights will go close, but I think the Roosters might just take out the Chockies.
So ins and outs for the Roosters and Knights. The biggest out for the Knights is Dane Gagai.
He's off to Brisbane.
For tonight, for this week's matchup, T. The key ins for the Roosters, James Tedesco and Robert Toyer coming back from Origin duties. I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go Roosters on this one.
Yeah. Raiders and Tigers at GIO Stadium, 3 o'clock Saturday.
Hang on, you missed one.
Oh, I'm sorry, Scoop. Rabbitohs Storm. I don't know about this game. Storm have got a couple out, yeah. From last week.
Key ins and outs for both teams. Key ins for Rabbitohs, you got Jaden Sullivan, Peter Mamasulis. Pretty much the key ins, and the key outs for Rabbitohs, Cam Murray and Talis Duncans are the only two outs.
Mm-hmm.
Melbourne, some of their key players in, you got Jerome Hughes, Moses Leo, and the key outs for Melbourne, Josiah Pahulu, and the biggest loss for the rest of the season, and pretty much the rest of his Melbourne career, Will Warbrick.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to go with upset for this. I'm going to go South Sydney.
I don't think it'll be an upset. I think Souths will play well, but yeah, with no halves. Storm, I think they're gone. Okay, Raiders and Tigers. Jess reckons the Raiders are going to win by 40. I tend to agree. They got too much speed in the outside backs.
I'm going to beat flag on that. I'm going to go Raiders by 60 plus.
Raiders by 60 plus. Oh my God. Bulldogs and Warriors at a core. Saturday afternoon, 5:30.
Key-ins for the Bulldogs and New Zealand. I'll just get it up. Key-ins for Bulldogs, Bronson Surrey and Stephen Crichton. The only outs, and I wish him for the best of luck, Marcelo Montoya just announced immediate retirement today. So originally he would want to finish his career at the end of the season, but as of today, his career is effectively over.
Yeah.
New Zealand, the key-ins, they got no outs. Luke Metcalf,
He won't get a run.
Cora and Rocco Berry.
Rocco Berry's a good in.
Looking at the Bulldogs lineup, I'm going to go Bulldogs.
Up the Waz. Up the Waz. The next one, the Cowboys and the Broncos. Do you think the Broncos can win every game to make the finals?
Some key-ins for the Broncos.
And he says no. The Donkeys are done.
Jesse Arthurs. And the only outs for the Broncos is Brendan Pecora because of concussion issues. That could be the spell of his NRL career.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Cowboys to win.
No, I think the Donkeys, Cowboys are hot and cold. I think the Ponies will lead the next one, and Seagulls and Sharks at Four Pines Park. That should be a good game.
So ins and outs for both teams. Ben Trefovich comes back. Blake Wilson and Fletcher Baker. Tony Large. So that's Makatua. And the key outs for Manly is Turbo Tom. Unfortunately, he's gone for the season. Sharks ins and outs are Jesse Goldcroon, former Dragon Jr., Jesse Ramian, Niwai Peru, and Sifo Talakai. And the key out is Jaden Barrell. I'll let you go first.
I'm going to agree with Jag here. Sharks are too hot for Manly. Especially having poor Tommy Turbo out. But Lehigh Hopewadi does a great job at the back. And he's been there. He's been there anyway. So that should be a good one. And now for the game of the round, and we all think it's the game of the round. Dragons and the Titans, Scoop, give us the news on this game.
So ins and outs for Dragons and Titans. Key ins for the Dragons is Kristen Tui-Pelotu, Emre Gula, and Jacob Webster. No outs for us. Titans ins and outs, Adam Christensen, Jalen de Groot, Curtis Moran, and Siali Faima'ani. And the key out for them is AJ Brimstone. I'm gonna stick loud and proud for my boys, saying Dragons by 6.
I'm going to say Dragons by 18. And he agrees with me, 13 plus. Jag only reckons they're going to win by 6. And we all know it's Gutho's 250th game. Congratulations to Gutho. But yeah, I think we'll take it home from here, Scoop, and have a good night, everyone. All right, Redfree faithful. This is it before we smash the Gold Coast on Sunday. Dragons fans, bring your noise. Because forget the ladder, because the Dragons are marching onto home turf with intent. The Titans think they're ready, but they haven't felt the sting of the Dragons side. Sunday, Arvo, when we blow that whistle, it's going to be all fire, heart for the Dragons. Stick with us after full time, 6:30 Sunday. Sunday sessions rolls on, and we'll break down every moment. Don't forget, NRL Wednesday with Jag tomorrow night at 6 p.m. So tell your mum about the show. I think she'll like it. Red V's a part of me. Dragons for life. And with everybody saying, come on, Dragons fans! Fire! Lions roll. No, no, no.